Let it go この決意 Unbreakable 愛する世界に不正なアクセス許さないぜターゲットロックオン今すぐ出動 It's moving time 飛び込め危機の最前線シャットダウン完了特命戦隊ゴーダスター
It's time to review Knuckles Chaotix for the Sega 32X. Now, considering that a fair amount of those watching may only know the 32X from when the Angry Video Game Nerd looked at it, I may as well go on about the add-on itself before we start. The Sega 32X was released for the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis in 1995 in another attempt to lengthen the lifespan of the Mega Drive. The 32X was basically a Mega Drive but with a few new upgrades, such as a more advanced sound front and several new graphical effects such as scaling sprites and 3D polygons similar to those in Virtual Racing. However, the add-on didn't do too well since, like the Sega CD, people had to pay for the Mega Drive to own a 32X, which itself cost around $150. It was made even worse by the fact that the Sega Saturn was only a few months away by the time it came out, and people decided to just wait for the Saturn instead, which led to the death of the 32X. Now, out of the 40 or so games released for the 32X, Knuckles Chaotix is considered by some to be the closest the add-on had to a killer app. But how good is it? Well, let's find out. The story, like most Sonic games at the time, differ in the Western and Japanese versions, but the general plot is that a new island known as Carnival Island has appeared out of nowhere, and it contains the Chaos Rings, ancient giant rings infused with the energy of the Chaos Emeralds. Because Dr. Robotnik has a fetish for anything to do with Chaos Emeralds, or gems in general, he decides to get them so he can, as you guessed it, conquer the world.
Of course!
So it's up to Knuckles, Mighty the Armadillo, Espio the Chameleon, Vector the Crocodile, and Charmy Bee to stop Robotnik from getting the Chaos Rings. Knuckles Chaotix is pretty much a 2D platform like the other Mega Drive Sonics, but with a few differences. First of all, after completing the tutorial level, you can pick one of 5 characters to control. Knuckles, who can glide and climb on walls, Mighty, a palette swap of Sonic who can wall kick, Espio, who can run on walls, Vector, who can also climb on walls and perform mid-air dash, and Charmy, who can fly. Another difference is that you have a partner bound to you via a special rubber band kind of thing, the partner being one of the aforementioned 5 characters and can be picked via a lottery system. The C button jumps, the B button holds your partner in place, which allows you to pick up speed by going as far as possible then going the other way, and can be used to pick up your partner when you're right next to him, and the A button allows your partner to return to you if you lose him or you get stuck, but at the cost of 10 rings. And like other Sonic games, holding down while running will let you roll into enemies, and holding down while standing still and mashing C activates the Super Spin Dash, although it's a lot slower compared to the other games. Also in the game are bonus and special stages. The bonus stages can be found in giant rings hidden throughout the level like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and are mainly used to just get points. The special stages are much different, however. You can access the special stage by not losing any rings in the level and jumping into the giant ring at the goal post. The special stage is similar to the ones from Sonic 2, but the levels are made with 3D polygons and are much more focused on platforming. Here, the goal is to get a certain amount of blue orbs before you reach the goal, and if you don't have that amount by the end of the level or run out of rings, you lose. But if you win, you earn one of the Chaos Rings, and when you collect all 6, you get the good ending, although you still have to beat all of the zones. Speaking of zones, how you access them is also quite different. In the game's hub zone, Neutronic High Zone, you can access one of the 5 zones by using a lottery-esque system where the level is randomly picked. And unlike the other games, the 5 zones have 5 acts instead of 3. The 5 zones are Botanic Base, Arena Madness, Techno Tower, Amazing Arena, and Speedy Slider, I think, but correct me if I'm wrong. But there are a few problems with Knuckles Chaotix. For starters, while I don't think the physics are as bad as some people have made it out to be, there are occasionally wonky jumps, basically anytime you're on a spring, but to be fair, this is more of an annoyance than a complaint. Something I can complain about, though, is the lack of checkpoints in levels, so if you die, you get sent back to the hub. Even when you face the boss of the 5th act, you're still going to get sent back. Also, the level design comes off as lazy occasionally, as you'll feel as if you've been to that level already when really you haven't. But by far the worst aspect of this game is Amazing Arena. Dear God in heaven, this level is so damn annoying. It's really easy to get lost in the gigantic levels, the music isn't that good, and that bloody mini-boss can go straight to hell. Even with all these irritating as hell problems though, you might be surprised to know that I actually really like Knuckles Chaotix. The graphics are just as good as the Mega Drive games, and are even better due to all the new graphical effects like the aforementioned scaling sprites. The music in this is actually some of the best music I've heard in the Mega Drive Sonics, with some very memorable and awesome theme tunes. And no, I am not just talking about the awesomeness of Door into Summer. The platforming is still fun as it was in the previous games, as usual, but my favorite aspect is the special stages. Now I know I'll get a lot of flack for this, but these are my favorite special stages in the entire franchise. I just love how there's actually platforming in these stages, and the graphics were very impressive for their time, and unlike Sonic's 2 and 3, they didn't annoy me with red orbs or going back into the red orbs, or having your AI partner lose rings. Knuckles Chaotix is a very good game with really good graphics, great music, awesome special stages, and fun platforming. However, the lack of checkpoints, occasional lazy level design, sometimes wonky jumping, and the awful atrocity that is Amazing Arena ruin the fun quite a bit. Even so, I give Knuckles Chaotix a Saints Row, meaning that although it was ruined by a few problems, it's still a great game.